Hey guys, so you recently might have seen me talk about anime a lot more on this channel, and for good reason. After entering my teens, I began to grow a bit of a fondness for it, with its stories, worlds, and characters, to the point where it has become one of my 3 favorite forms of media to consume. However, I haven't actually made a video about anime on this channel, mostly because I wasn't sure which one I would review. So, in the case of this review, I'm going to start small and do an anime that not many people know about. And over time, I'll review more anime that people know of. So, to start, let's talk about The Devil is a Part-Timer. So starting out, I might as well tell you what the series is, just to let you know what's up. So the story starts out with the heroes and the villains fighting each other. Just as the heroes gain the upper hand, Satan summons a portal and proceeds to isekai himself and his demon general Aciel into the modern world. Shortly after that, they try to use magic to help them get around, but uh-oh, looks like their magic doesn't work too well.
Wow.
And due to this, now Satan and his demon general now have to work to earn money, with the Demon King getting a job at a McDonald's. Oh wait, no, that's not the name? Well, what is it? McRonald's? Yeah, sure, whatever, I can do it again on with this video. So to start, I guess I should talk about the characters. And they all are fairly enjoyable. First off, I do like the main character Sado Mao, aka Satan. I wouldn't say he's in my top 10 favorite anime characters, but he's still pretty good in his own right. It is fascinating to see this once powerful ruler of a fantasy world now living a normal life as a McRonald's worker, all while learning humility and raising through the ranks of the McRonald's restaurant. The other characters are pretty cool too. They don't interest me as much as Mao, but I like them. Shiro, who was once the great general of Satan, essentially becomes his roommate slash housewife, which he is, alarmingly good at.
I'm a mom, one of the hardest jobs out there.
It's cool to see this acquaintanceship become more of a friendship as the series goes on between Mao and Shiro. Suzuku Kamasuki is an assassin from the fantasy world and is sent to the modern world to kill Satan, and slowly learns the aspects of modern life, which is interesting because the other characters seem to get the gist of it a lot faster. Even Couch Potato Lucifer adapted quicker. Speaking of Lucifer, he is my favorite character in the entire show, and my second favorite Lucifer. He's just a cunning, lazy smartass who gets on the character's nerves, which I am a big fan of. Chio is one of the few characters in the show that isn't from the fantasy world, and is also adorable, so I guess that helps. Finally, we have Emi Yusa, who goes from being a hero in the fantasy world trying to kill Satan to being a call center agent. And between those two, I cannot decide which is worse.
This is for Rachel, you big, fat, white, nasty, smelling, fat bitch.
To see this powerful hero in a fantasy world struggling with real-life issues also makes her character a lot more relatable. Also, unlike other tsunderes, I can see why she's hostile towards the protagonist. You know, because he probably killed a lot of people. So we got the characters, but what about the other stuff, like the animation, the story, and most importantly for this video, the comedy. The animation in this show is good, nothing different or spectacular about it. It's just a nicely animated show with surprisingly good fight scenes. As far as the story goes, it's pretty simple. Demon King Satan moves up the ranks of the McRonald's restaurant, and the side characters get involved, and a villain might show up, like, the Pope, and, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I admire that they reverse isekai tropes by sending the fantasy characters into our world rather than sending people from our world into a lame fantasy land, like so many isekai tend to do. So the story is fairly good, but it's not what drives the show. That would be the comedy. So, comedy in anime, for me at least, is kind of a mixed bag. I never really found it to be its strong suit. When done well, it's great. And when done awful, it's not so great. It really boils down to certain characteristics, like yelling, getting punched, seeing someone in the nude, or conveniently, all 3 of them at the same time. So how good is this anime's comedy? Not gonna lie, this is actually pretty funny. Most of the comedy has to do with the characters interacting with each other. I tend to like this style of comedy over something like, haha, thing happened, please laugh now. You generally get good banner like Saito, Shiro, and Hanzo having a difficult living situation, and other things like Emi and Shiho comparing, burger sizes. However, the show tends to draw humor from other places like outlandish speed-ups, situational humor, and my personal favorite, changing fast food names. So in their world, McDonald's is McRonald's, KFC is SFC, and Subway is Suobway. Obviously. Saito taking his fast food job seriously and going to war with SFC over customers is such an anime thing to do, and I love it. The only real problem I have with the series is that it kind of seems like bits and pieces stitched together rather than a story. Sure, it all ties together, but it doesn't really feel as connected, as I would like it, of course. If that makes sense. I also would have liked it if we saw more of Shiro and Saito adapting to the human world, because they seem to get by pretty fast. But other than those things, I had fun. Now, would I recommend you watch this? Well, yes and maybe. If you like anime, then I would say this is a definite yes and you should watch it. If not, you still might like it, but you might not find it as good to the same extent as an anime fan like myself. So, at the end of the day, I would say this is a solid B+ series. And eat your McDonald's.